All right, today we're going to show you how to install your new BA or 10 and 11 2 sprockets. So I kind of got ahead here a little bit. First thing you're going to want to do is take your sprocket and install it into your basket. Now, prerequisite is having a snoutless clutch. If you have a Viper, you just take the 6 bolts out, pop the center race out, and if you have a Bully, you just take a cutoff tool and cut the snout of it off. There are adapter kits available to where if you want to run standard 7/8 sprockets, you can absolutely do so without having to be stuck on these. These ride directly on the crankshaft. So what we want to do first is install the sprocket, put our snap ring on, and then we're going to take some grease and push it down in to this bearing. We want to make sure that that's very well lubed. You want to use a high temperature grease. We'll put the clutch, goes on first. It goes right over the crankshaft and in your thrust washer, okay? And then we got to line the clutch baskets up here, the tabs in the basket, and it'll slide right up and on. Please forgive me, this is a tough angle to work in. Not used to it. Okay, so now that that's on, okay, let me zoom in here just a little bit. All right, so now you can see that there's a little bit of end gap. Now, is how I test for this end gap. We'll get to the key part next. You don't want to forget this, but this is how you set your end gap properly. Okay, with your mounting kit, you will have these end gap washers, okay? And I like to slide a couple of these in here and get it to where the washers are protruding the end of the clutch, okay? So in some cases, you might only need a couple, and some you might need 3 washers. So I'm going to check this out real quick, and we'll show you what it looks like. See that right there, how you got a little play? That's exactly what you want. You do not want this to be tight, and to ensure that you've got your end gap set right, the clutch should move freely on the crankshaft. You see what I'm saying? That makes sure that it's absolutely not in a bind. So this step here, you don't want to forget it. There's a few guys that will sometimes. We are going to back this bolt kit back out now that we know that our end gap's set. We only needed 2 of the washers, okay? Now in the installation kit, there's a little mounting kit. There you'll see 2 keys that come with it. Your shorter one is for the SMC, or it's for a Viper, and your longer one is for your Bully. I'm going to open this feller up. And I'm going to pull out the 3/16 key that we use. We want to rotate this around. Make sure the key slides right in there good. Okay, one of the things you want to check for is you want to make sure that the key is not protruding the end of the crankshaft. You know, if you have your own key already or whatever, but it's very important that that key sets inside that crankshaft, because when you're setting your end gap kit, that key will push it out. So then now we just come back to our predetermined 2 washer setup with our mounting kit, and we tighten it down. We don't use impacts or anything like that. You can use a wrench and tap it a couple times, but as long as you have this assembly on here like this and you got a little bit of movement, you're good to go. Thank you guys for purchasing the BA10 or 11, and welcome to the family.